Greetings, this is Body-Culinary, and I have a few things to cover today. The first one is going to be today's food jewel, or one of the things that we use for meat, the things that sustain us. So here we have a sweet sock. So this one is not ripe yet, it's going to be soft, and it's in the cherimoya family. So this is a tropical fruit. You may be fortunate enough to find it several months out of the year in one of the Asian markets. So, sweet sock. Soursop is like the big one. It looks like it has a little bit of spikes on it, and this smaller one is the sweet sock. So it's wonderful to have so many natural treats, because when you have so many treats, there's no reason to cheat. So that's what's in our food jewel bag, or food jewel corner today. There's so much information, almost like an overload of information, but we have access today to lots of information about health, fitness, raw foods, living foods, vegetarianism, paleo, Atkins, all these different labels and all these different camps. But there is access out there. There's at least access out there that's available to anyone that has a phone, an iPad, who can get an internet signal. And there's so many books. The last time I went to make a donation to the library, wouldn't even take any of my books, which I thought was interesting, and that was several years ago. So quite often what I would do with all of these books, I've invested so much money in health and fitness and culture and improvement, I would donate them. So that was several years ago, and we can see the direction, a turn that education is taking with all of this access to technology, which brings me to a wonderful challenge that Body-Culinary is going to be working on, and that is going to be going paperless. My godfather told me years ago, he said, writing causes thinking. And I love to write. I'm making notes all the time. I have so many different ideas. At the same time, I've had so many notebooks. I've had journals that are like several decades old. I even kept a journal all throughout my pregnancy, almost 30 years ago, 26 years ago. So I have all of this paper with all of these ideas, and sometimes if I was taking a class, I might be taking such perfect notes. I might not be fully present to what's being said, or if I'm being fully present to what's being said by the instructor, I might not be taking good notes. So the beautiful thing with technology is there's this trend now towards using the iPad, and we have these utensils. Now, I'm not one for constantly buying more phones and more stuff. I think that's a big deal with most people. I can definitely say in the Black community, and I'm sure it doesn't just apply to the Black community, but I definitely, I'm very big on giving back, because I know what was given to me. So we have this thing with acquiring more and more and more stuff, and I think the acquisition of so much stuff, more things that we can manage, leads to a tremendous deal of stress and just overload. If you just think of the amount of money that people spend on storage spaces for things that we don't use, and we hold on to them tightly, either because they have sentimental value or we think one day we're going to use them, but there are years and years of stuff. If you've ever known, people that have passed on, you can see sometimes people that are still here, their family members, spend a tremendous amount of time, energy, and resources to manage their stuff. Collections of cloth, fabric, African masks, things that have tremendous value, but quite often they're not utilitarian necessarily, right? We may not be able to use them from day to day. So I began downsizing many, many years ago, because I just felt like it was overwhelming to have so much stuff. And I was definitely a person that would work for more information and buy more books, and to buy tools and buy a microscope for my son and all these things. And one day I realized I was working so much to buy all the stuff, and I was either too sleepy or not present to be able to enjoy the stuff, or even have the time to manage all the stuff. So it's a continuation of prioritizing what is important. I know there's a term that's out right now that folks usually call FOMO, fear of missing out. So sometimes we have to buy everything. I used to be one of those people that had to buy one of every color of a shirt to make sure that I had something to match. And it just became so cumbersome And I have to say, over the years, it was quite a waste of money. All that money that was spent could have been used on land and other resources. So that's definitely one of the things I would like to put forth and stimulate constructive criticism around utilizing our resources and realizing we don't need so much stuff, and to really reflect on what is our need and our desire to constantly be acquiring more just in case and more stuff. And I definitely want Body-Culinary to be a resource for tools, because we have access to tools. There's so much you can complain about, but at the same time, depending on your perspective, which makes you think of Grandma Lou, the glass half full or the glass half empty. We really are at a time we can make access to so many tools and use social media and YouTube and Instagram. We can use them to connect around activities and utilizing tools. So that being said, I'm interested in going paperless just because it is overwhelming to manage so much stuff, to manage, so many ideas in your head at one time. And I found keeping so many notebooks over the years, sometimes I wouldn't even go back to my notes, which is not necessarily a problem, because just writing things down on paper helps you to get things out of your head and to look at ideas and to move them around. So I'm going to be introducing a really nice tool pretty soon here on the channel that everyone can participate in. But the goal, again, is going to be to go paperless. So it's going to be a paperless challenge. That's for the environment, the external environment that we live in, but also for our internal ecosystem in terms of being so weighted down by stuff and being weighted down mentally, because it is stressful to constantly be buying more things because you don't realize what you already have, or taking notes over again and again, or not being able to organize your ideas if you're interested in developing a business, which, again, by the way, that's the time that we're in now. Many people are in the reality, and this was coming down the pipeline for a long time, that even many of us who have regular jobs, we're now at a time where many people are having to create their own businesses, right, as an alternative paperless challenge. And I'm looking forward to rolling that out on the channel, and letting you know if you're interested in participating. And I'll be sure to send you more information. And I know years ago, I just called it downsizing, just realizing I was overwhelmed by the sheer amount of stuff.
How would you like to be free from eating animal flesh, animal products, and be released once and for all from junk food addiction? All with delicious, whole, fresh, plant-based alternatives. Contact me for coaching and living foods preparation classes. Peaceful food, cruelty-free to your body temple, the animals, and the environment. Check the bodyculinary.com website. See you soon.